Welcome everybody to HeartTalk in the City. Today we are here to celebrate something new in Mountain House. It's not brand new. It's been operating elsewhere. And this is Hadessah, a girls mentoring program that is going to help young girls grow into their destiny as graceful, purposeful. And this was founded by Ronna Green from Rare Touch. She's the founder of Hadessah. And Brandy, her daughter, who's not here with us today, and Regina, her sister, co-founder. Thank you, ladies, for coming. And
thank you for having us.
Yes. So later we'll also be talking to Sandra. We'll also be talking to Lisa, and Yari will have their views as well. So, Ronna, could you please describe Hadessah for us? What is this all about?
Hadessah is a girls mentor. It's a girls mentoring program. We started in our salon in Fremont. For my vision, I just wanted to be able to give back to young girls and women, actually, what I received growing up as a young girl. That makes sense.
And Regina, you've mentored others for us through the Rare Touch. And what inspired you to bring this mentorship to Mountain House? Both you and Ronna?
Actually, it's Ronna's vision to bring it to Mountain House. She always comes up with these visions and ideas, and she says, "This is what we're doing," and I'm like, "Okay." So apparently, she thought that it was a need out here in Mountain House to mentor young girls, bring it into the neighborhood where we live, since this is where we've been living for. I've been living here 13 years. She's been here over 20, so.
It's really been very rewarding to be able to work together as a family, to come together as a community, and to be able to share some of the things that we have learned from the women that we service.
Okay. Sandra, I heard you were part of this from the very beginning.
Yes.
What are your thoughts? What did you think when this all started? Did you think it was just a hobby these ladies were going to do? What did you think?
No, my role that I always think I'm a supportive person, and when Ronna came up with the vision, I'm more of an executor. So I will execute her vision for her. So that's putting details together, what we need, and again, part of the foundation is making sure that we were registered and we had our papers and everything taken care of. So, when I heard what her vision was, I was on board to run with it. People know the story around Esther. So totally was on board. What Ronna didn't mention when she was talking about community and what's happening at the shop is that part of Hadessah, there was a young lady who I remember several years ago who was going to her prom. And she didn't have a prom dress. There was nothing for her. Her family could not do anything for her. And I remember Ronna got in contact with all of her friends and said, "Hey, we need to take care of this young lady as a part of Hadessah," right? Because the fact that Hadessah to me is more of not just outer beauty, but inner beauty, right? Yeah. So we got together, gave her beautiful prom dresses that she could pick from. It was almost turning this someone who probably did not feel confident in herself. Yeah. But after that day, that was ready for prom, she was simply beautiful. You could see this change from her. She had the elegant prom dress. Her hair, her makeup was done. And it was almost just the excitement that you could see her continent change from this girl that was not feeling confident because she was not confident within herself. But when she left, you could see that the confidence had built of who she was. So again, Hadessah it takes the realm of that outer beauty, inner beauty, everything to make sure that you're confident in yourself, and always remember that.
And just to add to that, because Sandra was one of the calls. And Sandra came, I don't even know how many prom dresses she came through with.
I have 2 daughters that had several proms.
It was really like she had an opportunity to just go in the closet and pick. It was so cute because she would go in the bathroom and then she would come out in a dress and then she'd go put it was so many people in there that day. I mean, we had people ironing for her. She had to, there was another girl who knew her. She didn't know her, but they went to the same school.
And they were both going to the same
prom. And her mom actually went and picked up some things for her for prom. And her family was not able to provide the things for her financially that she needed for prom. Our clients, they gave her money to be able to have for prom. She couldn't afford to buy pictures for everything. So it was absolutely amazing how everybody cut her hair. Who did her makeup? You did. Regina did her makeup. And I mean, I'm telling you, it was absolutely just fabulous how everybody came together. And I think, Sandra, if I could say anything, that is the beauty of the program, and that's what I mean about community coming together, right? Because it's in here. It's in here. And when you do it from your heart, like what you're doing, HeartTalk in the City. I looked at it, I was like, oh, okay. Because there's so many moments like this that we have all it's so many moments like this that we have had an opportunity, and it's an opportunity for us.
Right.
To be able,
it's definitely a blessing to be able to give back.
So
to be blessed and to be in the position to be able
Yes.
to give it back.
yes. So okay.
Next question. Okay, I mean, this is really heartwarming. Thank you so much for sharing and for starting this. Yeah, so back to the luncheon, Ronna. You started with the song Man in the Mirror. And you had everybody sing to it, which is such an icebreaker. And not that it was any sense, but it was a beautiful afternoon. Then that song really just added something to it was bold, it was touching, and it sent a message to whoever sang it and whoever listened to it. Why? Why? Why you started that?
That's my theme song. It just embraces everything that I want to show and experience. It's about growth, right? And it's not a one-time look in the mirror, but we should look in the mirror every single day. And it's really having a conversation with yourself about how to be better. I'm asking myself to change my ways. If there's something in me that needs to change, let me see it, right? So for me, it's not looking at other people, but it's looking at myself to see how I can be better and how I can make I don't want to say the world, right? But I can make the world really. But if we each individually get that mindset then I think it would be a better place. So I don't know, there was a lady there, which I didn't know this at the time. There was a couple of ladies there that knew each other, but they had gotten mad at each other. I had no clue. Later on in the luncheon, one of the ladies came to me and she said, I don't know, but that song, it just did something in me. And I went to her and I hugged her and I told her, I'm sorry and I love you. That's what that song does for me. It's about how we can be better. It's about how we can grow and how we can affect other people.
Yes. Anybody else would like to share about mine?
No, I guess I have to agree with that, because the first thing that we tend to always look at other people and not look at ourselves. And if we can look at ourselves and change ourselves, most definitely we can change the way that we see and the way that people see us. And when we change ourselves to make ourselves better, then we can, like Ronna said, go out and give it to other folks.
Make the world a better place. Take a look at yourself and make a
change. Change in this world, right? But it's going to start within us. We can't change. I can't change Ronna or Lisa or Yari. I can't change any of them. But it has to start here. I have to look at me and say, okay, that's not right. What do I need to do to make me better so that I can go out and make others better? So that now that I can be a mentor and share what I've learned with these young ladies.
Right.
And it's all about, again, we're talking about the inner man. That's where it starts. Right? Because everybody sees this outer person. We don't know what's going on with us. But inside we have to know. And then that's what we can give to someone. When we make the change in us to understand who we are, the leadership that we can, the loyalty, the character, the calmness, everything that Esther was, or Hadessah, we can give that to someone else. And that's what we're looking to give to our young ladies.
Exactly.
That's what we need to embody them with. We need to give that structure and say, hey, you can do it. You're loyal, you're calm, you don't have to go, quote unquote, crash out. Learn how to handle yourself in a manner that Hadessah did, with dignity. How about this? Sorry. Okay, so you know what I'm saying. It's just, that just is deep in me. You know what I mean? And learning how to handle yourself. When people, they can come to you and say, let me just say this. It's not about, it's what people see. Does that make sense? Because of the fact that people always can speak words, but it's about how you live your life. It's about what they see and how they see you deal with it. And that's what we need to let people know and understand, and let the young ladies know and understand how you can handle yourself and not be as what the world thinks that you're supposed to be like.
And handle yourself in whatever situation, because life is not always going to be good. Some bad things are going to happen to good people. But how do you deal with it? How do you overcome? And I would say go from tragedy to triumph. And then you go from tragedy, and we've all gone through some things in our lives, right? That really could have taken us out. Sure. But if we learn that that's not the end, but it's just, I heard somebody say it's just a pothole, right? So you're driving down the road and everything is so smooth and you hit a pothole. But then you just keep on going. And so if we can show the next generation that those are just bumps in the road, but you can keep on going and you can make it, that there is something greater on the other side, right? But then you take those tests and you turn them into testimonies for the next person. But without a test, you can never have a testimony. But we have to show them that you can keep on going, right?
That's true. That's true. I mean, in this day and age, everybody's just blacking out without stopping to say, "Oh, who am I to say this?" Or what gives me the right to say this? I need to first check my character, or you say so and so did this, but you've done twice as once.
You're right.
But you're blaming them. So you really need to stop and check in the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if the mirrors are smoky these days. Just not checking. Oh, it's too much, but it's good that these girls now need to. I do it with social media.
Social media.
It's the outward image, not what's within their heart, not their character, their personality. I keep telling my girls, it's what's in your heart first.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the outward appearance. Let's stop and check yourself first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, it's good. Yes, thank you. Yeah, so Hadessah, the name Hadessah. It's Queen Esther. Queen Esther, for our viewers, was a Persian queen. Her previous name was Hadessah. When she got married to the Persian king, she became Queen Esther. A young girl with courage and passion and great leadership skills, and she was resilient and didn't back down. That's the story of it's all, but I think it really relates so much to this. So, there's a verse, perhaps you were born for such a time as this. And would you say it captures the heartbeat of this whole Hadessah, the mentoring, the program, the times we're in? Would you like to share?
So I'll start off and then let other people, because the story Esther, that's just the framework. The name could be Irene or Yari or Ronna, Regina, Lisa or Sandra. You can take any one of our names and put it there. It started off with her name was Hadessah, but she couldn't be who she was supposed to be because it was dangerous for her at that time. So she had to hide her identity. That's one thing. Hiding who you are. That was real deep for me when I read it. But it went first, I started off with how she started. And it's back to what Sandra said and back to the tragedy from triumph, because before she was ever Queen Esther, she was a little girl named Hadessah who lost her whole entire family, got sent to live in a country that she knew nothing about with relatives she had never met. And so just imagine having to go through that and then to come to find out that under the laws of Persia, you're 13, 14 years old. If the king decides that he wants a new wife, you have no other choice but to go and see if he even likes you. How many young girls go through that where you're trying to see if someone even likes you, right? It's about peer pressure. It's so many things within Esther, but more in Hadessah, because Esther's who she became. After she had gone through preparations and being taught how to conduct herself. What related to me is the beauty treatments. It was our industry. I'm like, oh, we can do that part of it. We can handle the beauty part of what Hadessah had to go through. But then she had to be educated, right? There were so many other elements that she had to become. And that's where other women came into play, right? Because we alone could not fulfill all the things that she went through for her to be able to become who God called her to be. And that was to be able to save her people. What's the purpose? The purpose is that we may be able to save that next generation from possibly having to go through some of the trials and tribulations that we had to go through as young girls. So, Gina, Sandra, anybody else want to speak on that?
Yes. We're always becoming. We're always in transition. From the time you're born, you become. I'm not just Irene from the house born.
Mm-hmm.
At 10, I'm a different Irene. At 20, and at 30 as a mom, I am a different person. As a wife, I'm a different person from the day I got married. I learned so much at this point in life. We always transition.
Right.
So that really makes sense.
You're always evolving.
And I can just add is that, some people may not understand the time of Hadessah,
Right.
but to kind of bring it up to these generations is what you said, is that the preparation that she had to go through. And what Hadessah has, that Ronna has put together, is that not just the beauty part, because that's what she takes care of. Her and, everybody has their part. And Ronna has brought the mentors in different areas to help these ladies with these different parts, right? You have folks like Ronna Regina in the hair care and beauty. You have Charity is CMO. You have people that has education that can bring every aspect of a person's life to make them successful, that they can become who they need to become from inner to outer. So I think that with Hadessah, you have all these qualities that, with the mentorship, all these women that they can give to these young ladies as they continue to grow from the 12 to the 19, to give them what they need, those building blocks to be successful and to become confident, as we said, to be that person that they were called to be at such a time as this.
It's funny, it reminded me of a story, because we do have, I'm big in collaboration. I'm big in not trying to recreate the wheel. I'm big in let's all work together, right? So there's part of the program where we have the girls, we're teaching them about etiquette. And so one of the ladies that came in to teach a segment of that class, she said that she was going to take all you guys shopping, right? And she said everybody needs to bring $20. And let me just put this, that the program is completely free. We have never charged anybody to be part of the program. We rely on pretty much what she got and what I got. So we have been very small. So, so we came, we got together, and we all went, and she took them to,
A thrift store.
a thrift store.
The something society.
The Cancer Society?
That's not what it's called, right? Something society. But it was for cancer patients. That's where the money would go.
Yeah. So one of the girls, she said, "Oh no, I do not shop here. I only shop at the mall." But what she was trying to teach them is that every person should have a staple piece of clothing for interviews, when they interview, right? So she wanted everybody to find something that they could just use for interviews, right? And you can only spend $20. The girl that said she only shopped, well, she was the first one to find something in the thrift store. I mean, they had so much stuff for $20, like suit coats for like $5, $1 pair of. I mean, so that just shows that you don't have to have a lot, but if you had the person that you went to the interview last week don't know you had, that you're going this week don't know you wore that same jacket, right? But to always have something that was professional and just a piece that you always presented very well. But I thought it was very, very smart that for $20, she taught these girls how to be prepared for interviews, right? So those are the kind of collaborations and stuff that we look for. Now, Dr. King, yeah, Dr. Kim King, she is she's been, yeah, in
for practice and everything.
So remember when we went, her grandkids went too, and some people said, oh, but once they got in there, and she was awesome. She had them giving, what's the stuff you guys use in the tea? No cake shots in peaches, and we had one of the it was so interactive, right? And she's who we collaborate too, just on different career goals. And one of the girls is like, I always wanted to be an attorney, but you know what? This is really kind of interesting. So gives them other ideas on other aspects of things.
Yeah, I guess that experience was really grounding for the girls, use the $20 and maximize it. And that's a lesson that our children need to learn now as parents and teachers. And it's really about your self-worth, not I need something for $100 or $500 to be worthy of something. It's your self-worth and your identity. And
especially when you're trying to get a job and you don't have it.
And also, the statement for such a time as this, to need to realize you're made for such a time as this, not when you're up on your throne, but even when you're grinding it out, you're made for that time because it's making you a better person. So it's in each stage of our lives we realize I had to learn to live in the moment, to appreciate, being in this time for such a time as this, and not think, I should have been doing A, B, C, D. I'll give you an example of myself. When we moved to the US, I had a career. I was up on the road, interior architecture, on sites and everything. Busy. I had help at home and everything was going. I didn't have to touch in the household. When we moved to the US, it turned around. I had to learn how to be a full-time man. So my career had to take the back one. So I started getting depressed. No, I can't do my work. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't pull off the two together. So, but my children needed it because they were very young. So I realized, they need me more than my career. I can always work. So I had to prepare myself for such a time as that.
Right.
To be in the moment.
Exactly.
To, say, okay, I am made for such a time. I need to be a full-time man and give the best to my children. And
that was okay.
Yes.
And that was okay.
Yes. God needed me to be in that moment. I was made for that time to be that, not to be running around on sites and making money. And it taught me a lot. And that is what we need to instill in our children. Appreciate every moment, live in that moment, and make the best out of it. Yes. Anything else? Yes. So Yari.
Yes.
Your experience, would you like to speak to the event? You enjoyed it?
Well, definitely it was a beautiful event. I mean, not even just the decor alone, that was gorgeous. The food was delicious, of course. To whoever, or everyone that was at the event, you guys paid very close attention to every last detail. I think the biggest takeaway, yes, exactly, that too. It was very interesting. I even bought some stuff there. I think the biggest takeaway for me from that event was the influence that you mentors have on these young women. It's continuous, and I see it throughout yourselves. It's never-ending growth, which I feel like is a really important aspect and a lesson that once these girls finish the program, it doesn't end there. You don't finish. That's not where that work stops. It continues, and even from your experiences that you've shared, it's never ending. But I think the tools that you set them up with is what helps them succeed in life and what helps them overcome those freedoms and those potholes in life.
Lisa, you know you're working with the youth and the students. What does Hadessah, how will it help?
When Ronna introduced Hadessah, the program, gave me like a brief overview and actually came out to the school and spoke with our admin team. But what I took from it, just took him going to the luncheon and crying. And I think just each speaker that she had really hit different parts in me. Just, as women, we are always evolving. We're always growing. Right when you think you hit a plateau, there's always another level to achieve, especially when you're trying to grow yourself personally, career-wise, family-wise, just in general. There's always, but there's so much you can get for me, for the students in general. We did have a few attendees who were students, and I felt the program really benefited them because of their background and where they're at in their life. They really need that the guidance and vision to know that where they're at today is not where they're going to be forever, and know that there are opportunities out there for them to grow, and where they came from is not where they have to be. They're not prisoners to their upbringing. Some of them have come from a home that wasn't where the opportunities weren't there, and so for them to be able to experience the luncheon and be able to see, there's somebody there like me. To share their stories, or speakers to share their stories and know that they can relate to them. I think this is really, really big inspiration.
Yeah, one of the speakers even was talking about just a specific stage in life, and it was, I'm not a teenager anymore, but I'm not fully an adult yet. But it was a weird in between time that she herself talked about, and I feel that it really spoke to me because it's not necessarily like I'm ready for the real world and on a career path, but I'm still not a kid or in some sort of aspect. And I think just hearing from their experiences and listening to what they have to say really touched, like you said, touched every single person in that room in a different way. Every single person had something valuable for every stage of life. And I think the environment as well that was there, people who I thought everyone knew each other, apparently they didn't, but it just felt like they did because everyone was so close, like a family, and connected, and people were uplifting each other and reassuring and supporting everyone, that it was such a beautiful environment to just even be in presence of.
Yeah.
It's a really good
One thing that stood out for me is the brand. She was talking about Nike and Nike. What do they? It was Nike and there was another company there. And she's talking about these companies. And what they all have in common is their brand.
Yes.
And realizing as a woman, as you're growing, you're like, I already know my brand. And then you realize you're in a part of your life where you're like, oh no, well, maybe I don't know my brand completely. Maybe my brand needs to be adjusted. Maybe this is totally evolving. You know whether you're 20 or 30, 40, 50, 60, you're just evolving because there are just so many things that are happening in life that your brand can be redone. Let's redo that logo. Let's redo that message. You're still the same. You're still your brand, but it's improvement. Okay, your brand got you here.
Yes.
Now your brand needs to get you here or here. What are you going to do to improve that brand? To make sure that you're improving yourself and your community and those around you, and not to let go of who you are inside. What your sole purpose is.
Yes. Refining.
Refine the brand.
Have you heard from any of the graduates? Have they updated you on their lives? Regina and Ronna?
Success stories.
Yeah,
Where
have
there are
success stories. We have most of the mentees are in college now. We went to a birthday party for one of them. She turned 21 and she's at Sac State. She's so smart. She's such an intelligent young lady. And just seeing her flourish and everything. And two are in Texas ended up being at the same school at Prairie View. And they're doing really well. Most of them are doing really well. So. Lily. She's the one. Her mom's a dentist. She's in college. She's her first year of college in Delaware. So.
This is our last group.
Yeah, that we had. Yeah. Sandra's kids are doing very well. We're in the program.
Yes.
Tell them about your children.
Angel, she is assistant director for UNLV athletics. This has helped her also, but she is always out there. She's one of those young ladies that she knows who she is. She's very confident. So she's doing very well. Tehila, she is going to nursing school. She's graduated from North Carolina Central University with behavioral science, but she wanted to be a neonatal nurse, so she went back to school to get her BSN. So she should be graduating in a year, I believe next August. So they're thriving. So good to be part of this program.
Okay. So what's next? I'm a mom, two girls. They're teens, 13, 14, and 9. These are kind. Since we're now in mountain house, what's next? How do parents like us? Where do we find Hadessah? How do we register? What's next for Hadessah and Mountain House?
That's a good question. I don't know yet. It was, the luncheon was the introduction. It was a kickoff, just kind of putting feelers out there to see if it's something that would be successful here in Mountain House. And I feel that it would. And I feel with expanding our community and mentors,
Collaborations.
Collaborating stuff. I really feel like we can bring it here. We can start it. I would definitely need to discuss this with our administrative staff. And so let me tell you, the program generally is set up. It's a 3-month program. Because we have a salon, we're able to have a building to host the program. So finding the space here in Mountain House to be able to do that, again, I did talk about finances. We would have to rent a spot to be able to have the program. They come every other Saturday for the first 2 months, and then once a week for the third month, and then the graduation. So basically it's like 10 weeks. But, we'll have to do a little bit more research to where and when we can actually establish it here in Mountain House. Because in our salon in Fremont, of course, we own it so we can do what we want, when we want, how we want. But, we can't do that here. And then just to figure out everybody's schedule and just, your support, your inputs, the days that you're available to mentor, right? Because each session is a different mentor. We're all there, but each session is something different taught by a different mentor that has expertise in that area. So since Lisa brought up brand, when we first started Hadessah in 2006, it was called an image. But as things transition, now it's a brand. You are your own brand. So Charity Hutnell, CMO for Vigaro, she presented it so eloquently.
She was great. She definitely presented in terms where anybody can understand.
Yes.
Whether you're 12 or 50, you can understand and you can relate. Exactly. Huh?
So to be able to bring some of these women out to schedule things, we teach entrepreneurship, which you, Miss Irene, you're going into that field of entrepreneurship. You actually were one of our vendors at the Hadessah luncheon, which thank you so much. I appreciate it. We met not that long, well, a while ago we met, and we met because I won a prize for your product, So Africa.
Yes.
And from that, I love them, so I have continued to be a customer, and I felt like I wanted everybody's skin to be as soft as mine. So I invited you to come. But, so we do teach entrepreneurship and different things, so just being able to come together, bring the people in, maybe we can get Bob to teach photography, videography for some of our aspiring models. So, I mean, we're working on it. It just, I was very happy to see how it was received, well received. Gotten a lot of emails and text messages and calls and stuff in support of the program. So just gonna work it out to be continued.
Yes, to be continued.
Building the brand.
We continue just, yeah, thank you. So this really is, it should be a stirring of the hearts for not just the moms, but the parents out there and the elder sisters and brothers and aunties and uncles to rise up, to lead, to help our young people. And if you want to be a part of Ronna's program, Hadessah, the email will be shared in the link below. Please get in touch, and thank you, ladies. Thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you.
HeartTalk in the city. And this is to be continued. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you.